Champs and Giggles. History, news, views, and reviews from a black perspective.
Yes, we are. Welcome, one and all. It's that time of the week again. Champs and Giggles are in the building. Good Lord, what are we? I'm wearing the uncle hat today. My niece is from you don't say right. My niece is in from where's she there again? Qatar.
Oh, nice.
They are from Qatar. So may I put on the uncle hat.
Nice.
Big up, but Nigel's in the building. What's our God? Inspector Gadget's here. Spice, half pint you there. Lord have mercy. Look, Bootsy, she there. Pinky. Toots is in the building. Junior, Lord, the sister there. Look, the family's there. Crazy cousin. Uncle Joseph. Yes, Leisha.
Uncle Joseph.
It's the aunties and uncles. It's Friday night. We're going to put the world to right. Look, Dee Dee. Dion is in the building. She's snatching a picture of Inspector Gadget. Now, I don't know what you lot are talking about. Nigel Farage, his name in another language means what? I mean, who comes up with this stuff?
Means foo-foo.
What was the language?
I think he's gone, Nigel.
I think it means kitty
Malay
cat.
slang.
In Malay slang.
Barrage is
Foo-foo.
Kitty cat.
So go and tell him move.
Kitty
When you
cat.
say move your put. You can say
Kitty
move
cat.
your Farage.
Yeah, kitty cat.
Yeah. Move your barrage, yeah. That's a better way to say it as we're recording, yeah. Yeah.
Move your Farage.
Move your barrage.
Classic. I'm gonna write that one down. I remember that one. They were talking about him today. I happened to be listening to the old station there, LBC. I like the young fellow. What's his name? He's on about 11 o'clock around about that time.
Oh,
Owen Holmes.
no.
No.
He talked. I find he talks a lot. I know you're talking about Joe.
Yeah.
He comes on after Nick Ferrari or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was listening to him a bit today. He was he's so on it with regard to that Brexit thing. He knows all the details about Brexit. So somebody calls in and says Brexit was good or da. And he's like, hang on a minute, wait. And he put the man to right in a minute. He's like, hold on, what part of it was all right? He broke the guy down in a minute. The guy was speechless. Couldn't believe it. I was like, rotted. Brexit did no good for anyone. And this guy just has a bee in his bun, like he's going to bang the world to right. What is his name? He's going to bang the world that Brexit was terrible. And apparently, this here situation in America, we'll get onto the subject. I'm sure you guys might have been talking about it. Trump loses trillions on the stock market. Trillions. Just boom, gone. People are out of work. Plants have shut, had to lay people off. Canada's taken rather than pay the tariffs, they took all the drinks off the shelves.
Oh, wow.
How about it? Sent it back. We don't want it. We'll drink Canadian. I mean, it just goes on and on. Leisha's got her hands up. We got so much to talk about. It's early days yet. Go on, not talk the things.
Right, let me give you a bit of scenario. Could you remember the days we used to go to the shop? Your mum said to you, "Is £5? Go and get X, Y, and Z."
£5.
And then what you do, you come back and you probably lost a couple of pounds or a little pennies. Your mum will count the change. So where's the rest of the change?
We can do that. We
Right.
can do that in my house.
If Trump was my mum's son, he would have got a hiding. Losing all that money on the stock exchange. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
People get sentenced for less than what he's done.
Yeah, we couldn't come back with what money. You see, you can't even. It's not a language. It's not the vocabulary. When mum send you to the shop with the monies, come back with their change, not a penny short. Not a penny short.
And he's losing trillions. He's losing trillions.
It's just gone. But I digress. Keith is in the building. He's got all the news, the banter, the congrats, condolences, shout. He's got it all. So come on, Keith. Let's start the things.
All right. Well, let's start with the condolences. We know that our gentleman that's passed away, which is very sad. He's very well known. Richard Chamberlain, who passed away. You would know him from various films that's been around.
American actor and singer.
Yeah.
He was a singer. I can't remember what he sang.
No, nor do I. But he was a good actor. Richard Chamberlain. Yeah. So
here's the young face, which I see here. I'm not answering this call. I just want to make a mention, by the way. I keep getting this call from this Kyrgyzstan. Whatever the area code is 996.
I wouldn't answer.
I have no idea about me. I don't
Block
know.
it.
Let me just show you.
And
Block it.
Crazy
That's a good
Cousin's got a
idea.
hand up as well.
This is the picture of Richard Chamberlain, king of the TV miniseries. Age
Shogun.
90.
Yeah, Shogun.
Yes.
He played as Dr. Kildare, Shogun, and a Thornbird. Oh, the Thornbird, remember that? It's from old.
That's
there
what
is
I
the
was
young
going
man
to say. The Thornbirds. I remember that from way back when watching that. That was, oh my God, you could not miss it. One of those shows you ran
Back
in to
in
watch.
the
It was
day,
very
yes.
adult though at that time. Didn't
Yeah,
quite understand all of it, but yeah.
Dr. Kildare, 1960s medical drama. So he had his there he is. He had his moment. Good. I mean, that just show you how quick life passes us by. You know, it's here for a minute and then it's gone. Yeah, Richard Chamberlain.
Richard Chamberlain.
And
then to couple that, then you had Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer. He was
only
in Top Gun.
65.
Yeah, that's right, 65. But he had cancer, and
no, but they said he beat the cancer.
yeah,
and he died of pneumonia.
Back. I think yes, that's what they said. He died of pneumonia, but at 65 years old, yeah, Val Kilmer, yeah.
And enough movies he was in. You know, this is when you talk about it, it just goes to show he was a good actor. You know, he played as Batman, one of his
yes,
one of his roles. It's such a shame. But yeah, throat cancer. And he beat that. There he is. He beat that, and 1959 to 2025. I wonder what his funeral would be like. It makes you wonder, isn't it?
Yeah, he probably mated.
It's not like when Whitney and them pass on. It's do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder what his Inspector Gadget and Penelope Blackstop have raised their hand. Let me who's these people? Let me have a look. Oh, there they are.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I got two from history for you real quick because I'm out and about. I'm in the helicopter and it's real busy up here at 28,000 feet. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
April the 7th, 1712. 13 years ago was a revolt by enslaved Africans in New York. Yeah, enslaved Africans launched a rebellion in Manhattan, in New York, on the 7th of April, 1712. And also in 1940, the U.S. Postal Department issued a stamp honoring African American educator Booker T. Washington, and that's once again that's on the 7th of April, in 1940, which is 85 years ago. A stamp was issued honoring African American Booker T. But like I say, it's busy up here in the helicopter, so that's enough for me, and I'll just tune in when I can. But yeah, traffic control's on my case, to be quiet.
Thank you for the bulletin.
Yeah,
that was the quietest helicopter I've ever heard. But nonetheless, we appreciate that. April 7th, 1712, there was a revolt, Black History moment in Manhattan. The slaves revolted. Good Lord. 1712, Manhattan was still about. I wonder what it was like now. Couldn't have been what it was now with all the buildings and whatnot. Must have been farmland and bedrock.
Bedrock, yeah.
And then Booker T. Washington was honored with a stamp in 1940, which is quite interesting. Booker T. big name in America. Big
Well,
name.
yeah,
Big name.
yeah,
Big name.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Yep.
Richard Chamberlain
Yep.
and Val Kilmer,
Yep.
65, too young.
Well, yeah, too young.
You know, throat cancer.
Yeah, yeah. But they're saying it's they mentioned it was pneumonia, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be 2014. Look, he had the disease since his diagnosis in 2014. Succumbed to pneumonia on Tuesday. So an 11-year struggle with throat cancer. 11-year
7
struggle with
years.
throat cancer.
Wow.
I mean, big actor. You
Yeah.
know, it's a sad moment. You know, a man like that passes on. He leaves a legacy behind him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kept the cancer quiet. Didn't tell no one about it. Disclosed it after Michael Douglas. Remember Michael Douglas?
Yeah,
Michael
Michael
Douglas
Douglas.
he's still about, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he's dead, but he's probably got throat cancer. He's got
Same
cancer.
thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Same thing. So, and then of course now he's succumbed. So I guess Michael Douglas must be worried.
Yeah.
I would be. If you and your brethren's got the same thing, and you know. But yeah, these are troubling times, guys. Troubling times. You know, we have each other. Oh, we have each other.
Yeah.
And it's not like before when you was young and life was just going on and on and on. Now you value those that are close by because, you know, yeah, we just realize how precious time is, how precious life is, you know. So yeah, yeah. Right. Any more before I say?
Yeah, I'm just gonna just one more I'll bring to the table, but this more goes out to the family of the 11-year-old girl who was paddling on her day off of school.
No way.
Yeah, and she slipped into the River Thames, and they've just found her body. I think they found it yesterday.
Poor thing. She couldn't swim.
Or if they maybe they haven't found the body, but they've named her. I think they named her yesterday, but I haven't found the name. But apparently
she's 11.
She's 11 years old, yeah, and a Londoner as well at that.
And whereabouts in the River Thames?
They're saying it was near City London Airport, so it's East London.
Yeah, close to me.
Close to you, okay, Jimmy.
It was down in Beckton, yeah.
This is very, very sad.
Kaliyah
Coa
disappeared
after falling into the River Thames.
Yeah, she was paddling. So maybe she had a paddle board or something paddling.
And there was an expert. It was really interesting. I'd never thought of it. People think, you know, in this good weather, the river's going to be quite nice, but it's actually really sudden death. They were saying that her body, because the water is so cold, her body will really suffer quickly. And if they survive that shock of the cold water, it quickly goes into hypothermia, and then she wouldn't feel anything. But it's actually pretty rapid death.
Yeah, instant in a way.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, very sad. Yeah, that's the young girl.
Yeah, 11-year-old disappeared off. You know, I don't know how she fell into the Thames. Paddling.
And it was a school day off.
Let's not be fooled. The water's cold. The sun might be shining.
You've got them undercurrents as well in that Thames.
There you go, Keith. You said it.
Yeah, the undercurrent.
The current will get you.
Took her.
Yeah. Even if you can swim, the current will get you.
Yeah. But the upsetting thing that I think the people that live around there, they were saying, I don't want to go too much into it, but they were saying that they feel that the council, or whoever runs that Thames shore, or the cobbles, or wherever it is, the slip or the ramp, there's no gate there. So any young child, even if a 2-year-old can run down there. The picture that you showed, the jetty or whatever they call that.
That's how you get on and off, like with your boat and whatnot.
That's right. But it dips down. So if you're doing like canoeing, you can walk right to the edge of the Thames
and get into
put
the
your canoe in there. Yeah. So
that's common.
Yeah, but they're saying that there's no gate there. There's no life buoy.
Something afloat. Afloat.
Nothing. But crazy cousin, come on in.
Yeah, I wanted to say, in my youth, we used to go canoeing, not canoeing. Well, I've done rowing and canoeing, and I rowed in an all blacks, girls only. I went to girls school, and we rowed, and I must have rowed around twice, 3 times a week in the Thames at Barnes.
Oh, Barnes, yes.
Oh, yes.
And you are schooled. There is serious shit. Now, you
Most
have to
people
know,
do.
you are drilled into how to use the water. You go in, you practice in the tank, then you go out onto the physical Thames. You watch the tide, you watch it go up, you watch it go down. Something went wrong with that poor child.
Well,
I wouldn't.
Yeah. 11 on her own. She was 11 on her
own. Well,
yeah.
no.
It was school. It wasn't even a school. It wasn't a school day. The school was off. The school was closed, so she thought, it's nice weather. I'll go just down there, just off the edge.
By herself.
On her own. Yeah, she was with a couple of friends, but the friends weren't going into the water. They just stood on the outside while she went in.
Very sad.
Yeah, that is very sad. I've had a different experience, and very strict training and rules and regulations regarding what happens. I mean, I was very fortunate. The Thames was so nasty when I was doing it. You wore your kit once and you had to wash it. So every time I went out, if I did rowing twice a week, that washing machine was going because your kit stunk. It was disgusting.
It's even so now. It stinks.
Well, it's worse now because they're
nasty.
letting all that shit water
I don't know why the girl went in there because it's nasty. You don't go.
Well, the thing about it, Joe, the other thing
that it's a lovely sport. Rowing and canoeing, I prefer rowing. It's an absolutely fantastic sport.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And when you go out on your own, once you know the rules of the river, where to sit, what to do, it's you know, you're safe except for the dirty old man on the side who opens his coat and flashes his willy at you. But other than that, we used to have a great time. That's very unfortunate what happened to that young girl. Very unfortunate.
She was actually playing. She wasn't doing nothing to do with canoeing or learning about the Thames. The problem that we do have, it's not taught enough in schools. I don't care what no one says, because it is not taught enough in schools. The danger of the Thames, with having too many people are losing their life in the Thames.
It's interesting you say
it's
that.
Not something, it's not something that, you know, schools, I don't feel, are teaching enough. Doing canoeing and, you know, and being able to go on the Thames, and, you know, that's only now becoming, you know, accessible to certain groups of children or certain schools, okay, that's actually becoming, you know, this little child, 11-year-old, okay, because even down, like you say, if you even go back to that picture there, right, if you're a country child, if you live outside, you live in the country, you're taught about that green slip, the green slip, because that's what slips you. Right, you're taught because it's all it gathers there. You're taught about that. She clearly wasn't taught because you wouldn't go any further. Okay,
she might have just been playing nearby.
Well, that's what she was doing
because it wasn't a school event.
There wasn't enough safety there, and
none. It wasn't a school event.
There was none. Our children, our young people, are not taught the dangers of the Thames. They're not taught the dangers of the Thames. I'm not gonna repeat. I lost my cousin in the Docklands. Okay, he was young. He was skylarking in the back there at the Docklands with his friends, and that was one hot summer. And he thought he could jump in there.
But we hear that every year, isn't it? They jump in the water.
That's what I'm saying. He thought he could jump in there and be good. But what happened? You got killed. It took your life.
Yeah,
when your friends and you were shouting out to your friends, help, and they were all laughing and kicking. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that time they just had broke you up.
Yeah, he's freezing cold. He can't swim today, can't do nothing. He's stiff. I've had the same experience. A friend of ours was in the water. He's freezing cold. He's waving for help. We just waved back.
Exactly.
It's
That
unbelievable.
is serious. That's one serious. When
and your body gets into shock, so your body goes stiff.
All right.
And you
all
can't.
All right.
You can't. You can't move. You know. It was a couple of the friends went out, and they realized he was calling for help, and they dragged him ashore, and he was pale and could just stiff, and we had to walk him up and down along the beach until get the circulation going again.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
and if you've got a
Gary's
buoyance
name
on,
is.
if there's a bit of a difference, you might just about get survived, And if you're going out on a canoe, you're already taught from, like she said, in the swimming pool, right? But that actually being tipped over and turned under. If you've ever
The
done
difference
that,
now is people don't watch the news. People are in their own bubble, in their own world, in their own. You know what I mean? And so this lessons that you say with regard to how to go into the doing that. They're just playing. I mean, as parents, you're going to tell your picnic them don't go by the water.
That is sad. That's
but whether the picnic them listen
and I do blame the council. I would blame the council because that's
I don't know who's
they never
to blame.
They didn't keep that child safe.
Yeah, but who's to blame? I mean,
it's down to the council. It's those who are supposed to make sure that area of the Thames is sealed off in a way, right? Because when
I was a kid, we used to go up to the canal up the top there. We just walked in, went in. We didn't know what it was, what it wasn't. Yeah, fortunately, it's not like
but that's it. That's what I said. It's the lack of education. You can't just walk in
the canal.
Yeah.
So I mean, and what job the council has if they have to do that? We went in the Thames. My mate, he had a house on the River Thames. We skinny dipped in there one night. Little did we know. I mean, it was sandy bottom. I slipped. Little did we know how quick life could just be sucked out of your body. Fortunately, we didn't go. We just stayed near the edge, and then, but no idea.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's a lack of education.
But it's a lot of people that come under that lack of education.
That's what I'm saying. It's down to the schools. It's just like a swimming pool.
How would they promote that in school? What day would they teach
how
that
to be safe in the water? We don't include the Thames. We do not include the Thames. I went to school born and bred.
The Thames
I was never taught. We don't get taught about the Thames. There's not enough.
If you're in Hammersmith, Fulham, you go along up the Wandsworth, you go back. See, that's your man there.
Yeah.
So you go along all the shore. People that live in that proximity, perhaps they should have an extra school lesson.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I can tell you that all of
Weezy, you know what I mean?
There were always gates
Croydon,
that lead down.
There's no Thames to worry about.
There's gates that lead down
to
all along the Thames, right? We have gates and steps. Listen,
mate, you could just jump in.
Yes. All along the Thames, we have gates and steps. You got to remember back in the Thames was a yes. We've got gates and steps, and most of those gates are supposed to be chained. The steps. Some of the steps, even by near me, I know that we've got one that leads down, and the water. The Thames water can come up there because that's where it becomes slippery, where it gets all the grit, the yellow, the green grit, the algae and all that.
And the doo-doo.
What I'm saying is that all along the Thames, because once upon a time, when the tide was in, you could time it, you knew there was a bit more structure because don't forget, all there was trade. That's where all the slave trades used to come in. That's where all sorts of trades used to come in along the Thames. You understand? So you have to, it's not something where I think they educate children enough on. I don't believe they do on the safety of it. No, they don't. Swimming pool, yes. If you're going to learn it as doing, as a hobby or for children, then you're being taught about it then. But you're not necessarily, there's so much vast people out there and that are not taught. And like Keith said, there wasn't even a lifeboat. That there was nothing. So there was no buoyance. There was nothing there. So there was no safety there. And like they said, you can walk down into that. That's down to the council. Sorry. That's down to the council.
Let's see what happens. Let's put a pin there.
Yeah.
Do you recall the? It wasn't that long ago when the woman. Well, it's one that you just won't forget. The woman was drowning. The young lad jumped in to save her. He drowned and she lived. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how
That
did
was
he
a
get
bad
in there
boy.
to save her? There must have been access points. I don't know. I don't know how the Thames work, but it's not the first person that's gone in
Yeah,
the
but it's
Thames.
not a place.
And
That's it. People need to know
hopefully
you
it's
can't.
the last. Hopefully they'll do something about it and put more provisions in place, and people will become more aware. The Thames, it's just not your friend. It's
No.
it's not your friend.
It's not your friend. No,
It's not your
it's not
friendship
like,
at
and it's
all.
not like the sea. It's different.
You know,
Two different
TMJ
water.
says
That's
there
right.
should be council awareness along the river. There
Of
should
course,
also
there
be
is awareness in
awareness.
some
1 minute,
places.
Pinky.
Hold
1
on,
minute.
Pinky.
1 minute,
There
Pinky.
should also be awareness from the river councils, even if from the perspective of preservation of the riverways. More should have been done. Yeah. Big up
Yeah.
TMJ. What Tagwan, what Sophia's in the building as well. What Tagwan, what Tagwan. I mean, I see couple hands up. Keith, is your hand up? Good,
It is up, but I'll let Crazy Cousin
Crazy
go, and
Cousin come in.
I'll come in
Let's
after.
He's the host.
Well, thank you, DJ Smiley. I just wanted to say, I think, what am I going to say? What am I going to say?
Hope it's on
I
this
tell you
topic.
what, from a youth worker's perspective, right? When I compared my school days to when I was interacting with the young people in the youth club setting, they lost out on an awful lot. Maggie Thatcher sold off the playing fields. Rowing, canoeing, and going to what was that place? Warren Farm.
Yes.
We did hockey, rounders, all of these things. These young people didn't know none of that. That is why the opportunities have been taken away, is basically what I'm saying. And so there's no exposure to those things. All those rowing clubs that go from like Hammersmith or all the way down the Thames, they're not cheap.
No.
So that's why that in itself is an obstacle for people to get involved and join in. They're not cheap. They're not geared up towards us. And even when I kind of like try to
So
expose
when you was
people,
at school, you could get in with all the provisions. But what
yeah,
you're
but
saying
then
now, the cost
boat
has
house,
cut. Yeah.
Yeah, the budget and all that. They cut
Right.
all of those things, especially. I mean, there's a school, St. Paul's. It's on the. Let me see now. Where we're going? We're going from Putney up
Paul's
towards
Hammersmith.
Hammersmith.
Yeah, I know it
the
well because I
private
used to
boys'
work at
school.
council. Yeah, so
They have their own boathouse.
Yeah, they do, and Latimer as well.
Look, and then
Latimer School.
we used. What did we use? The boathouse was council owned. God knows if it's still that now.
Yeah,
So
it's not
it was
council
about
now.
the lack of opportunity, and then Maggie Thatcher sold off all the playing fields. You just about got a communal swimming pool, and so when that happened, you just lost opportunity.
Yeah, and that's that. Yeah, I totally get it. And so now the people, you can't afford the boathouse and all the rest of it. You're not in the big boys club.
Absolutely not.
You just jump in there because you see water and look at this. Good Lord. Champs and Giggles, each and every week we congregate, we meet together to talk the things, and that's what we do. We do have to go to break. We will be back after these words. Oh, by the way, I must remember that
recording
when I am